every weaning is unique. Every mom weans for their own constellation of reasons, and and that makes it unique. And that the for me the big picture is um, being respectful of the next generation's social emotional health.
Yeah.
And so, I'm 100% pro baby led weaning. And I mean that in the sense of weaning, not weaning to solids. I'm talking about that.
Right.
And well, I don't know. I can tie some theories in that we don't have research to support. Here's one that I love, that I like to ruminate on. So many women talk about the appearance of their breasts after they wean, and looking like deflated balloons. That kind of, they talk about it, and they talk about body image issues. And one thing that I've found in being a part of La Leche League, and La Leche League, not, and for what it's worth, for everybody out there listening, La Leche League does not recommend that you wean at 6 or whatever. What works for you and your baby is what works. But that being said, folks that attend La Leche League regularly tend to wean later than folks that don't attend. And I think that a lot of that is culture, but also education, because they get to hear about all of the cool things that normal term breastfeeding facilitate. Like, did you know that a baby that's breastfed for more than, I think it's 33 months, is 44% less likely to need orthodontia?
Oh.
I mean, that's a pretty wild statistic there. That when children are breastfed full term, and that's whenever they want to wean, um, they have normal maxillofacial development. Babies that are weaned at 6 months or a year, and then perhaps go on to a sippy cup for another 2 or 3 years, don't have normal, optimal facial development. So things like that. But back to the body image thing. So moms that wean naturally, not okay, it's time to cut you off, and baby's been nursing 10 times a day at that point, but normal term weaning, because their body has been slowly making less and less milk, and it's a long process. They tend not to have that radical deflated balloon look. And I wouldn't know that except for what I do, and because of my long-term association with La Leche League and moms that wean at 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. So
That's very interesting.
yeah, I'm a wealth of really weird knowledge. But I just said that one's one that has always fascinated me. The orthodontia one has been, I learned that way before I learned about airway development and breastfeeding. Babies that breastfeed long term have more normal airway development rather than underdeveloped. And you and I have talked about this because of tongue tie stuff. If you can't swallow appropriately, if you don't have full mobility for your tongue and for all your facial muscles, your airway doesn't develop appropriately, which can have long-term health consequences. And I've been learning this for the last 25 years. All these things that, I'm making connections.
Awesome. That's amazing. That, I mean, there's so much, and I want to say too, like, it's so important, and we've said this before, to prepare for breastfeeding if that's what you're going to do before you get postpartum and you're trying to troubleshoot the whole breastfeeding thing. So it matters so much that you're just aware of things and that you prepare. And, I had issues breastfeeding my OB and pediatrician wanted to give me advice, but in all honesty, and this is just me being me, all I had was Kelly, Mom. That's all I had to go and read. And I'm just enough to buck the system. Like, I have just enough attitude to be like, no, I will do this, and I pushed through. Had I had you prior to that, it would have been a different experience, but so moms who are watching this, like, it matters that you prepare and that you understand, your pediatrician is not a lactation consultant. Your OB is not a lactation consultant, or your midwife, or your, labor nurse. Some of them might be, but for the majority, they're not going to be a lactation consultant to walk you through everything that you're going to need to troubleshoot on your process. And don't wait until you're postpartum and your hormones are rebalancing.
Exactly.
You're crazy to try to figure out, what to do in those moments. But anyway,
I always like to say, you don't go to your plumber for an electrical problem.
No, that could be very bad.
Exactly. And I want everyone to know, I was not successful breastfeeding my first. I don't share these things to make anyone feel bad about their choices. I share this information so that everyone can make informed choices. And I live the mantra, when we know better, we do better. I make mistakes all the time, but I try really hard not to make them twice.
Right. I'm having that conversation with my oldest now. Woo-wee. That's a whole nother subject. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. We will, again, share your questions with us, please. Like, we want to answer what you want to know. So what we touched on tonight is just stuff that came in randomly in conversations or messages to me. So, put in the group or message me, or message Catherine, whatever, that's fine too. Like, we just want to know what you all want to know and what questions you want answered, because we want to help you prepare, whether you're already in the throes of motherhood and breastfeeding, or whether you're a first-time mom and you plan to breastfeed, prepare for it now. Anyway, love you guys. Hope you have a wonderful evening. And
there's a La Leche League meeting at 9 p.m. on Thursday night.
Okay.
Just
La Leche League at 9 p.m. on Thursday night. Is that virtual?
Yes. Okay. Yes, definitely.
Just making sure. So y'all, like,
we'll share the link.
Yeah. All right. Y'all have a great night, and we will talk to you later. Bye.